Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 24th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the state of California, there's Nevada and Arizona. You can see this cloud mass out here. It's associated with this Arctic air sliding to the east of the Rockies, actually helping kick off some of this precipitation across Nevada, Utah, and potentially Arizona as we go through the day today. A bit of light precipitation here across Southern California also ongoing right now, but it is very light out there, not expected to amount to much. And you can kind of see the coastline of California all the way down towards Southern California does have some sunshine this morning as well. Some fog into the valley areas for Northern California, as you can see there here on the GOES 18 satellite imagery. And we're getting up towards 13,000 subscribers. Just another thank you to everybody out there who comes back and visits these videos daily. Taking a look at the precipitation amounts Friday, and again, pretty light amounts here, just down towards a tenth of an inch here across a lot of Southern California. Maybe a 2 to 3/10 of an inch near San Bernardino, somewhere on the I-10 out there, but not too big of a deal here. This is for today. And this day in SoCal weather history, check it out. 1985, atmospheric river all the way from Hawaii brought some pretty big 24-hour precipitation totals here. And you can see in 2015, the king tides brought some coastal flooding out there. And we'll look at some of those details here in a moment. We got some high surf advisories and some interesting beach statements here, and some sneaker wave possibility up and down the coastline also. And you can see that enhanced sneaker wave risk here with the incoming long period northwest swell. And this is going to be moving down the coastline over the next couple days and will impact some portions of Southern California as well. This goes all the way through Saturday and through Monday here. Now, looking at that, you can kind of see how these waves are going to be propagating across a lot of the coastline. So these sneaker wave possibility is going to be all the way from British Columbia all the way down through Southern California here over the next few days. And as you can see, we've got some high surf advisories out there as well. And again, the beach hazard statements. And you can see we got wind advisories, we got freeze warnings, we got freeze watches. We kind of got stuff all over the place here across some of the Central Valley in the Bay Area, Southern California as well. And if I click on this beach hazard statements, you can see it does talk about dangerous rip currents and breaking waves due to elevated surf of 4 to 6 feet, minor tidal overflow and coastal flooding possible. And this one is for the Ventura County beaches here from late tonight through Monday morning. Here we go at the first freeze watch here. It actually includes Las Vegas out there. It's chilly air mass settling down over the area. You can see it does include 29 Palms as well. Some pretty chilly overnight lows as you go on towards Sunday morning here. The first one so far this year. This is for Arizona. Rain chances today just kind of staying north of Phoenix here. But by tonight, you might even get some light rain down towards the Phoenix metropolitan area here. So enjoy that out there. It shouldn't amount to too much, however. And if you want a nice, affordable home weather station, record all this weather we get here along the west coast and across the southwest portion of the USA, click on that link down below to save 10% off. Great weather station here. I think it's actually 20% off right now if you use my code as well. So go ahead and check that out. This is looking at the NAM 3KM, the North American model. It's a high resolution model, and you can see the state of California here, but you've got the north winds going. That's why that wind advisory is still out here for some of northern central California. And as we put this into motion, you'll see some of these offshore winds as we go through the day today should be relaxing a bit, but then we kick them back up again here as we go through the nighttime hours, and we start to kick the Santa Ana winds here as we go on in through tomorrow. But this is not going to be as strong as an event as the last time. Some gusty winds will be out there, and you can see some decent winds across some of the desert areas, but again, not quite as strong. You can even see the offshore component all the way up across Northern California by the time we go into Sunday morning here. And that should be relaxing here as we get towards Tuesday afternoon. Now, looking at the composite reflectivity, this is what the Doppler radar would look like, or may look like, at least what it's forecast to look like here. And you can see that precipitation potentially impacting some portions of Arizona. And if you look closely, you can see the spin in the atmosphere here and some light precip for Southern California. Now we're going into Saturday morning. You can see that precipitation still occurring here across portions of Arizona, but pushing off to the east. And then we're going to dry out with those Santa Ana winds. And then our eyes turn to the next system here off the Pacific Ocean. More on that here in a moment. Here's the day one thunderstorm Alec here near the Four Corners region, just some northeast portions of Arizona there. Now, looking at the GFS, this is hot off the presses, the 12Z run. There goes our precip down across Southern California and Arizona. If we put this into motion, here goes our next storm system here. So models have been flipping and flopping here on just how much of an impact this is going to have. Previous runs brought a little bit more precipitation, but you can see it does bring some to the central coast here towards the Bay Area, then down towards Southern California. but not too much on the 12Z run. So we're really kind of still struggling with that system there. And then the storm track returns to the west coast here, but how much of this will include California, still up in the air. And again, previous models of the GFS are showing some pretty dynamic frontal systems moving into the state of California, but really it's kind of far out there to be getting we're getting a little bit of ahead of ourselves looking that far out of the futures, because you can see we're through the 10-day period here, and that system is still kind of off the Pacific Northwest here, and how much of this frontal system will get California, we're just not quite sure just yet. So we continue to watch it. This is last night's European run here. So if we look, this is our next system here coming. You can see it does start to bring some precip to Northern California, some of the Bay Area, and maybe stretching down towards Southern California as we go. But again, we're going to be watching this over the next few days. We'll iron out these details as we get a bit closer to it. Now here's that troughing associated with that Arctic air moving down across the Rocky Mountains here, and you can see our next system is there, and it makes its way towards the California coastline here. And this would be on in through about Wednesday morning there. So this is the storm system we'll be initially watching. Then it looks like things are going to remain active again here over the Pacific Ocean, but how much of that storm track will include California is still the big question as of right now. As you can kind of see, this troughing still hanging on as we go on in through the end of the week here. But we have a lot of work to do here as far as what kind of storms are actually going to be impacting the state. So we'll be revisiting that again tomorrow and try to see if we can get some kind of agreement with the models. As you can see here up towards Crescent City, California, you can see some big totals in these precipitation amounts and some with much less, just huge variation in these ensemble members. And this one right here would be that initial system. Actually looks like it might slide in a little bit south of Northern California, but again, we'll watch it. We have a few days. You can see the dry period coming up here with the offshore winds until we get towards the Monday night, Tuesday timeframe. So we'll be watching this one closely tomorrow and see if we can get some better model agreement with that. This is San Francisco. Here we go with that system here. You can actually see some pretty good 24-hour precipitation totals in here, including the control run as of last night did show about 0.6 of an inch for some of the Bay Area here. And of course, there'd be higher amounts across some of the higher terrain and other local areas here. But you can see pretty good precipitation amounts showing up in some of the ensembles here, but some of them not showing much precipitation at all also. And this is Los Angeles. This would be that same system here. You can kind of see the mixed bag of precip you're getting. And there are some totals up over an inch in a 24-hour period. So we'll be watching that storm closely here and try to figure things out as we go. 6 to 10 day, check it out. You can see we are in the above average signal here, but yeah, as you guys saw, there's still some question in the storm track through the extended period here. So yeah, this could be backed off on as well. 8 to 14 day, again with the above average across the entire Southwest USA, kind of bullseyeing some central and Northern California as we go through December 7th. So anyway, yeah, interesting stuff here. I wish I had a clear picture on what's coming through the extended, but it was looking a little bit stormier the last few days for California, and the recent models have backed off a bit here. So I just kind of want to communicate that level of uncertainty onto what's coming here over the next week to 2 weeks coming up here, because it looks like the storm track is going to get active out there, but how far south will that dive? That's still another question. We'll dive into that again tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see what the weather models bring here today to try to see, hey, is that just a blip in the models, and is it going to return that storm track back into California, or are we on to a different pattern change here as we go on into the future? But anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving out there. Hope you're enjoying the weekend coming up. It's still only Friday, so hopefully you got Saturday and Sunday to enjoy yourselves. And yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.